Hello, my name is Kai, and today we're going to take a look at the Dyna cable release adapter from Lomography. Okay, comes with two pieces here. Advertisement, and then this is a poster, images on one side, and on the back side we have the directions in several different languages. So this is pretty basic. Comes with just a cable release, locking cable release. If you turn the collar on this knob here, and this is in the up position, when you push on the cable release, it locks. I'll show you how that works. This is the Dyna cable collar, and that fits on your camera like this. Notice there's an opening at the top so you can still access the shutter settings. An opening at the bottom so we can access the aperture settings. And then you see this little arm on the front. It has a little catch on it to trip your shutter. So you would mount this on your camera like this, screw in the cable release here into this sleeve here. Now with the shutter just set to N, you can trip the shutter. And the reasons why you would use a cable release is if you have the camera on a tripod and you don't want too much camera movement when you're tripping the shutter, this is good. Plus, if you get a longer cable release, you can take self-portraits. Now, where the locking cable release comes in, and how we do this is we rotate this little knurled collar on this end counterclockwise, and you'll see it pop up about a 1/16 of an inch here. We can set the shutter to the bulb setting. So now when we actuate the shutter, the cable release locks, and the shutter will stay open for as long as the cable release is locked open. How you release it is you just push down on the knurled part again, and it'll pop right up. Now this is great for timed exposures. Either if you're shooting night photos or indoors. Now, one thing I was curious about was, would this fit on my vintage Dyna? This is an old Dyna that was built in the 60s or 70s, and it's what the Lomography Dyna has based their camera on. So it's a little tight, but that goes on there. Let's see. Now it's not really tripping the shutter. I have to rotate the collar a little bit here. So it's at an angle now. And when I rotate it so I get a little bit better push on the arm here, that's just long enough to trip the shutter. Alright, that's good for vintage Dynas. How about Dyna clones? Let's take a look at a banner. Okay, right away I see we're having a problem here. This lens barrel is just a little bit thicker, a little bit wider in diameter than the vintage Dyna or the Dyna Plus. So the cable collar is not able to seat against the body. See, yeah, even if I push on it. And the problem with that is the arm here isn't back far enough to trip the shutter. So it's no-go on the banner. How about a Tru-View? You can see the Tru-View is very similar to the Dyna. It looks like it's built with the same mold. There you go. The collar goes all the way back to the body. That's good. Okay, now we have to rotate it till the arm here is right up against the shutter. Now you can see how much I'm having to rotate this here. It's quite a bit. And it's not quite catching here. Let's see. And the shutter release forward. That's not quite working. Probably the problem is that the shutter release lever is a little lower in position than on the vintage Diana or the Diana. And what's that causing is that I can't quite rotate this far enough because of the aperture setting lever here. I probably need to rotate it another 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch or so. So I guess the answer is that it appears to work on a standard vintage Diana, but won't work on the banners. But on some of the other cameras like Tru-View, which seem to be based on the original molds, it's just going to be on a case-by-case basis depending on where the shutter release is. And this is the cable release adapter from Lomography for the Diana and vintage Diana.